What is up, my spectacular Spotter Spy spectator spec powers here? You can call me Mr. Beverly Hills Cop fan or Mr. Axel Foley fan because it is time for me to do a YouTube video on a review on the movie Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. That's right, the most recent installment starring Eddie Murphy as the iconic character Axel Foley. It came out on Netflix last month at the time of this recording, July 3rd more specifically. And my mother and I watched it the day it was released on Netflix because we love Axel Foley. I mean, who doesn't? He's so funny and he's very smart. So yeah, there's the poster. You see Eddie Murphy's name, and there's Eddie Murphy right there as Axel Foley. There's the iconic logo / title, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. There he is with the unique jacket, the pine or palm trees in Beverly Hills. That shows you California. It's a helicopter, the iconic red car, and never gets old when it comes to Axel Foley. It is the 4th installment in the Beverly Hills Cop franchise, and it is the first Beverly Hills Cop movie to be released in 30 years because the last movie that came out beforehand was Beverly Hills Cop 3 in 1994, which a lot of people deem to be the worst in the franchise. It's the campiest out of them all. I think it's like one of those things where is too campy in an extent, but it's an okay movie. But this movie is a lot more redeeming compared to the 3rd movie. I'll say that. So yeah, let's talk about it. So first of all, again, so Eddie Murphy reprises his role as Axel Foley. Judge Reinhold returns as, I keep forgetting his name, but he was in the other 3 movies. That supporting character, one of his partners. Oh, let's get rid of that. John Ashton returns as Taggart, who we last saw in Beverly Hills Cop 2 from 1987, and I'm happy that they brought him back. I was unsure if we would ever see him again. They also brought back that art gallery guy who was like Axel, whatever his name is. I'm happy they brought him back too because he's really funny and iconic too. And it features new cast members including Joseph Gordon-Levitt as this detective who's dating Axel Foley's daughter, Kevin Bacon, who, spoiler alert, stars as the villain, who's a police chief but then turns out to be a villain in this movie, and he does a great job in this movie. And what's her name? Hang on a second. Let me check it out. Who played Axel Foley's daughter? Taylor Page as Axel Foley's daughter, who also did a really great job in this film too. The new characters are really iconic, and here we go. So let's get on with this more, shall we? So it is about Axel Foley in the modern day. He comes across a new scheme, and he discovers that his friend, I keep forgetting his name, Judge Reinhold's character, is in trouble. So he decides to investigate what's going on. And then his daughter gets threatened by these burglar people. His daughter is an lawyer, and she represents this guy who is believed to have been framed for a potential murder, and the people who actually committed the murder try to threaten her to get off the case, but she refuses to listen. So Axel Foley decides to go and protect her after he found out that she was threatened, and he goes to investigate this scheme, right? And he encounters bad guys as usual, and he acts funny towards them, etc. One of the major things that I really love about this movie is that there are there are multiple callbacks to the other films in the franchise, like the iconic song "The Heat Is On" is in the opening sequence of this movie. Shakedown, Takedown, Breakdown is featured in one of the chase sequences. And like some settings are like have like callback to certain settings from the first movie are shown, and like they reference the events of the previous 3 films in the franchise, which I did a YouTube video review on actually not too long ago at the time of this recording. I'll put a link to the video in the description below. Maybe not right away, but I'll do it as soon as possible, as soon as I can remember. So yeah, like again, the 4th installment in this iconic franchise. Like as usual, Eddie Murphy has to travel from Detroit, Michigan, to Beverly Hills, California, to investigate another scheme, and it never gets old with him. You know, being the campy detective that he is, the comedic detective that he is. Like, there's only one Axel Foley, and it's Eddie Murphy, baby. So yeah, like I wasn't around when the previous movie came out, so it's kind of a first for me in my lifetime to see a new Beverly Hills Cop movie come out, like living in that moment. The acting's really great. Like, the detail's really great. It's not too campy compared to the 3rd movie, which I think is a big redeem for the franchise, even though, like, the 3rd movie's okay, but, like, it's a redeeming compared to the 3rd movie. And, like, the performance is great. Kevin Bacon was great as the villain. He was scary and phenomenal and realistic. Everyone was realistic and phenomenal. And they did a great job on making us laugh. Like, Eddie Murphy did a great job on cracking a lot of jokes in this movie that made us laugh. Like, my mom laughed right away because she got it right away. It was so... I laughed too right away because I got it too. The suspense is awesome. The camera, like, the lighting, they did great. The definition, the frames, it's incredible. Especially with the suspense and the slow-mo moments, really iconic. And the character development is really great. They really developed these characters really well. Like, it's not slow, it's actually detailed and story filling. Especially Axel Foley's relationship with his daughter Jane. And everyone else too, but him and his daughter is the main focus of this film. That's what I like about this film. And like nothing's ever easy. They really worked hard on this film. It was not easy to do, but they managed to do it. And Eddie Murphy seemed really thrilled to return. And I actually just heard a few weeks or a few months ago that they're already working on a Beverly Hills Cop 5 at the time of this recording. I'm sure we'll hear like a pre-production date or release date year sooner or later. I would say within the next few months, or maybe by next year we'll hear something. But I already know I'm gonna watch that as soon as that comes out on Netflix or in theaters. Like, really funny. I'm gonna do a YouTube video ranking each installment of the franchise, including this one. I have to make my final list sooner or later. I'll do that soon. Once I upload that, I'll put the link to that video into the description too, if I remember. Maybe I won't remember right away, but I'll do it eventually. So yeah, like, yeah, it's really redeeming. Eddie Murphy knows what to do. Everyone knows best when it comes to Beverly Hills Cop, and like, it's like, you know, it's set in the modern day too, and they did a great job on acknowledging that, like with the modern cars, the iPhones, like when they first show Axel Foley and like, I keep forgetting Judge Reinhold's character. I'm gonna look it up. What is the name of that character? I'm trying to find the name of the character. wait. Yeah, I'm looking. I'm like, Detective William Billy Rosewood. Yeah, Rosewood. So yeah, like Rosewood using the iPhone to call Axel Foley. It's like, oh my gosh, modern day acknowledgement. It shows you that they've kept in touch ever since the beginning, like throughout first, second, third, and like after the third movie. And like it's fun, entertaining, and like it shows you like Axel Foley's changed in some form. Everyone has changed in some form ever since the last film, and they really did good, and they really cared about the story and the character development. I really like that. I admire that, and you gotta give everyone who worked hard on this film a lot of credit for it. And like I think it's one of my personal new favorite movies in general, in all honesty. Again, Kevin Bacon kills it as the villain. He's scary, he's smirky and realistic. He's like, ooh, corrupt cop, corrupt police chief. He's detective or inspector. Like, he's a corrupt guy undercover. And like, like, again, a lot of good callbacks, and Axel Foley knows best, and it's really interesting. And like, I'm already curious about what part 5 will hold. I'll make a separate YouTube video talking about my thoughts on part 5 being made and what I would like to see in it, my predictions, etc. And like, one thing I thought about the 4th movie was that I thought that the villain of this movie was going to turn out... I thought the villain of this movie was going to turn out to be a relative of, like, Victor Maitland, the antagonist of the first movie, or one of the villains of one of the previous movies, but not this film. At least maybe a future movie. I would like to see that. I think it'd be kind of awesome, in all honesty. And, like, nice pop culture references, and again, the jokes and references that Axel Foley makes, it makes me laugh. It still makes me want to laugh to this day. And it never gets old. Axel Foley always rocks no matter what. It feels like an 80s and 90s movie set in the modern day, especially with the music. It worked well and smooth. That's one of the other things I loved about this movie so much. You better believe it, viewers. So yeah, and like yeah, I can't wait to see how much more this franchise expands. It's a good rebirth / reintroduction to the franchise, especially all the characters, and good introduction to the new characters too. I like how it's a legacy sequel. You know, features the old characters, and it features new characters like, you know, the Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Taylor. I think that's something, I already forgot her name. The actors who played Jane, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So yeah, again, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. It is on Netflix right now. You can go on it right now if you have Netflix, and it's really good. And Beverly Hills Cop Parts 1 and 2 are on Netflix at the moment, only for a limited time. It's going to go away soon, in a few days at the time of recording. Speaking of which, I should catch them on Netflix before they leave. 3's not on Netflix for some reason, but I'm sure you can watch it on Amazon Prime if they have it, or on if you buy Amazon, or maybe you get it on DVD, any movie on DVD. Yeah, like, yeah, Beverly Hills Cop Axel, Eddie Murphy, one of his best roles ever. And one of his best roles ever as Axel Foley. So yeah, there you have it. Beverly Hills Cop Axel F, released on July 3rd, 2024, this year at the time of this recording. And it's nice how it is like around the 40th anniversary year of Beverly Hills Cop 1's release, and 30th anniversary year of Beverly Hills Cop 3's release. What a milestone, callback, and awesome, amazing callback reference, anything like that. So yeah, like, it's on Netflix. I totally recommend it. One of the best movies in the franchise yet, or best action movies overall, in my honest opinion. I can't wait to see more of this stuff, and we'll talk about that more. Axel Foley never gets old, especially when it comes to Eddie Murphy. The heat is on. So rate, favorite, subscribe, even comment. I'll talk to you people later. Peace.